7:1 Additional chapter. Analysis of Bitcoin's multi-layer information structure, from consciousness implantation to financial manipulation. The first layer, ideal narrative layer, freedom, equality, openness, communication, context, decentralization, borderless, anti-censorship, unalterable consciousness guidance. Describing Bitcoin as democratic currency in the information age seems to be a fundamental challenge to the traditional power structure. Implicit logic provide a psychological support as if participating in Bitcoin is participating in a civilization replacement movement. The core of the problem, this democratic myth cannot cover up the real problems of technical thresholds, computing power, concentration, and pre-mining system. Although Bitcoin is decentralized on the surface, power is re-aggregated in another form of supernodes. The second layer, operational strategy layer, buy and hold. Wealth, freedom, communication, context. Hold Bitcoin for a long time, you can become rich. The future of Bitcoin lies in faith. Behavior guidance. Encourage takeover faith to form a price support mechanism. Implicit structure. Early holders build positions at low prices and then do not move, while newcomers passively become a source of liquidity at high prices. This is actually the emotional packaging of the reverse wealth transfer mechanism. Cognitive trap. The slogan "Let's get rich together slowly" is essentially asking you not to sell. Not that they will not sell. The third layer, belief structure. Layer Bitcoin uniqueness, communication, context. Other cryptocurrencies are scams. Bitcoin is the real decentralization. Logical operation. Strengthen the unique legitimacy of doctrine, which is exclusive to the outside and convergent to the inside. Implicit structure. This is a typical fundamentalist narrative, using a sense of moral superiority to shield competitors in technological evolution. Root of the problem. The sanctification process of Bitcoin obscures the emergence of a more flexible, efficient, and programmable blockchain form. It uses consciousness closure to continue a vested interest structure. The fourth layer, the grand narrative layer, financial revolution and central bank takeover, communication, context. Bitcoin will become a global reserve asset. Countries will buy in large quantities. Motivation for hype. Create a grand narrative, FOMO, fear of missing out, to encourage huge amounts of money to flow into the last train. Logical contradiction. The reality is, the purpose of the central bank's currency design has never been to fund early speculators, but to maintain the monetary power structure and social and economic order. Conclusion reversal. If Bitcoin really becomes the central bank's reserve currency, its essence is no longer a free currency, but a highly centralized control structure, which is exactly contrary to its original intention. Summary. A financial textbook of consciousness operation. Bitcoin is not a scam, but it is one of the most successful consciousness narrative projects in the history of human information dissemination. It carries faith and is also manipulated by faith. It promises freedom, but it replicates the digital aristocracy system, represents change, but also exposes structural traps in change. Initiative. The real blockchain awakening should include the following features. 1. A sustainable, equal rights model rather than relying on early mining. 2. The openness of the algorithm does not mean structural fairness, it depends on the distribution of governance rights. 3. A clearly structured participation path, avoiding vague narrative induction. 4. A transparent alignment mechanism between information and value, curbing information speculation. This is an honest response to technological civilization in the context of a true consciousness leap. Bitcoin is not wrong, but a watershed. It allows us to see for the first time that consciousness can also be commoditized, politicized, and financialized through code. The Metanusis project is a consciousness redefinition project, proposed after entering this civilization narrative. The next step is to have a new narrative model, new structural verification, and a new sharing protocol. Only then will we truly walk out of the set freedom,